Hello everyone. Hi, how are you doing? Are you fine? I hope so. So how is your 2019 going on? I hope that you all have set up your resolutions and you have started working on it. It's very nice. We all should set up a resolution because it gives us directions. All right. And as per my part, I've told you in the last video that my resolution is to make 4 to 500 videos, which is going to be a huge source of learning for all the learners around the world, especially in case of English language. So let's begin from today. And it's going to be my first lesson. And this lesson is about 10 myths about learning English. Okay. So, 10 myths about learning English. First of all, let me clarify this. What is this word called myth? Myth is something that which is in our mind, but practically which doesn't exist. So there are many learners, not only in India, but all the learners around the world. They have something in their mind about English. So what are those myths? I have categorized them into a list. So I will discuss with you them one by one, and I hope that you will find that it can be also of yours. So let's discuss them one by one. So the first myth is, I'm not good at grammar, so that I cannot speak in English. See guys, this is the biggest myth which I've been facing for last 9 to 10 years. Not only Indian learners, but also outside India, this is a common myth. And now let me explain to you that why this is a myth. This is a myth because we are focusing on those things which we think that important, like noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, and all those things. But what happens in reality? We go some other country, we go for some interview, nobody asks there about grammar. Nobody asks about, okay, what are the parts of speech, what is prepositions and these things. Nobody asks about these things, right? Am I right? So why are we giving too much focus on these things even nobody is asking about these things? So according to me, grammar is not that much important, and this is a myth. You should focus on your daily conversations. You should talk more. You should talk to more people. Slowly and gradually, you get a sense to speak right English, and that's where the fluency and confidence comes. The second myth. Okay, now come to the second myth. That is, I need major in English. Yes. See guys, most of the learners around the world, they think that if they have not done master in English, or if they have not done any kind of research in English, so that they cannot speak in English. See guys, I must say that this is a myth. Why this is myth? Because we all have to do some different kind of jobs, and our jobs had required some different kind of skill sets. Okay, suppose if I'm an engineer and if I lack in communication skills, and my job requirement is that I need to be have very good communication skills apart from my uh, technical skills. So what I have to do, I need to work on my communication skills. I need to focus more on my interactive part, rather focusing on literature, poetry, fiction, and drama, right? Because if I talk to more people, I will find more improvement in my skills. And so this is a myth. And from my personal experience, I must tell you, I've seen a lot of people in corporates. They have not done master in English. They have not done any kind of I must say that research in English, but still they can speak better English than those people who are teaching in school and colleges as English as a major subject. So why this myth? So this is completely a myth. Avoid this myth from your mind and try to give yourself interactive environment where you can interact more to the people. Mistakes will happen, but slowly and gradually you will overcome those mistakes. Okay, now come to the myth number third. That is, I need to be in US or UK. Okay. See guys, this is again a myth, and why this is a myth? Because some of the learners, they think that, okay, they cannot speak English in their own country, or they cannot learn English in their own country, because they feel that in their own country the language is different. Suppose India, Philippines, Brazil, and some other countries where English is a second language. So they think that if they go to UK or USA, only then they can learn English there. But let me clarify you with these things. You can learn English from anywhere or in any part of the world. Why? Because right now you have resources, you have everything, okay, and you can learn English in your own country. You need not to go anywhere around the world. All right, you just need to practice. You just need to have patience. Just avoid this myth from your mind. Start learning, start practicing, and if you face too much difficulty, start joining the classes, and you will find greater difference in yourself. And after 2-3 months, you will realize that, okay, you didn't go to any other country, but still you are able to speak in English just because you have taken that decision, because you have avoided that myth from your mind. So after first, second, and third, now come to the myth number 4. It's very funny myth, but it is still there in the minds of people. So I'm going to discuss this also here. So it is about marrying foreigner. See guys, if you have friends in the country like UK, USA and some other developed countries, it's good part. You can have conversation with them, you can find you can learn a lot of things from them. But it is not necessary that you should marry to foreigner in order to speak in English. You can learn English in your own country, and you can improve your skills in your own country, and you can marry in your own country. So this is just a myth. Please avoid it from your mind if it is there in your mind. So you can speak better English without marrying foreigner teachers. Okay, the next myth is I was poor in academics. Yes, guys, this is again a very serious myth in the minds of many people. They think that they were very poor in academics, so they cannot speak in English. I must say that this is not at all true, because if I tell you that from my personal experience, that okay, if I ask some students with meritorious students also, sometimes they are not able to speak good English. Why? Because English is a language. Particularly in India, we have different syllabus. We focus on grammar, we focus on literature, but we hardly focus on communication skills. So if there is a student, he gets 99, if he gets 95 out of 100 marks, but if you ask him to deliver a kind of speech from the stage without or frame something, or framing some sentence or something like that, they are unable to frame. Okay, so it has nothing. So English language has nothing to do with your academics. You can learn it from any kind of view. It doesn't matter. It is not necessary that you should be a scholar in order to learn English. So the next myth is a difficult language to learn. This is not at all true. Okay, see guys, if you ask any experienced person that which is the easiest language of the world, and the answer would be English. Now why is it so much difficult for many people around the world? Now let me tell you. See guys, learning a new thing is never easy. It requires patience, it requires consistent efforts, and it requires that how do you plan up the things in order to achieve that thing, right? Similarly, the English is not an exception. But I must tell you, if you keep thinking that difficult, it's so much difficult, you won't be able to take any step ahead. But unlike Germans, Chinese, Spanish and French, I find English is the most easiest language as comparative to these languages. So you should just need to put your efforts and see it within 2 weeks. You will find that okay, you have learned something new. Your patience, your interest does matter in this case. Okay, now the next myth is a very dangerous myth. I actually request you to please avoid this from your mind. Okay, and the myth is that I need to give up my own culture. Why? I'm completely against it. Why should you give up your own culture in order to learn English? See guys, earlier the concept was different. There were convent school, and I'm completely against this. I've been teaching English for last I must say that around 9 years, but I've never taught to my students to adopt British cultures. I've never taught that British culture is best. It may be good in on their own part, but our culture, what is wrong in our culture? Our culture is also good. So why should we give up our own culture in order to learn English? All right. So there are some convent school which they practice, actually they make them Christian, they make them complete following this kind of practices. They say that Indian religion is bad or something like that. I do not have this kind of philosophy. Now come to the next myth, that is I need to pass a test. See guys, if you are going outside India, or particularly in European country or American country, so you need to pass a test, that is for sure. That is IELTS and TOEFL. But if you want to learn to speak English, for that reason you do not need to pass any kind of test. All right, you can learn from anywhere. As I told you the last myth, that okay, you can learn from anywhere in any part of the world. All right, if you feel that, you just need to go and interact with people. The more you interact, the more better you become. There is no past. People are not anywhere standing and they are taking your test and they are saying that okay, you are failed, so you cannot speak in English. No, you can speak English. If you want, you can speak English. Your marks doesn't matter. There is no kind of test you have to pass in order to learn English. All right. It is just your courage, it's just your interest, it's just your passion which you need to follow continuously. Okay. Okay, now come to the next myth. This is myth number 9 and second last myth, and this is my vocabulary and pronunciation is not up to the mark. Vocabulary and pronunciation, these both are very important part. Let's firstly discuss about vocabulary. See guys, the more words you know, the more better way you get to express yourself. Okay, but for journal conversation or for the daily conversation, we just need 2 to 300 basic words. If you know these words, I'm damn sure you will not face any problem in day-to-day conversations, whether it comes about reading, writing, listening or speaking. You will not at all face any kind of problem. But if it comes that you have to grow up your level, so you just need to plan yourself that okay, on a daily basis I need to learn 2 to 3 words, or after 1 month I need to have these much word I must be knowing, or after 1 year I must have to I must learn these kind of words. So this is separate part. But for the basic conversation, you just need to 200-300 words. You need not necessarily to memorize the entire dictionary in order to speak English. All right, just to speak English, you just need to start with basic vocabulary, basic things you need to know, and then you need to keep practicing with the people, and then you need to keep observing the people, which new word they have said and how they have said, and then you need to practice it on. Now, and about pronunciations. See, in basic environment, pronunciations is not that much important, but yes, if you want to put your impression on another individual, or if you want to put your impression in a group or anywhere else, so you need to have a strong knowledge of pronunciation also. This you can do by joining the classes, because in particularly in India, our environment is something different. Okay, I must say that we have the data that in India most number of people speak in English, even larger than UK or USA, but only 5% people speak correct English here. That is in terms of pronunciations. So you need to learn English from those efficient learners, and you need to also keep watching the new channels, and you can also keep watching some movies, so that from there you can observe that okay, how actually the native speakers speak. So you need to copy that skill actually. All right, so like that way you can improve your pronunciation. Again, I must tell you that in the basic environment, pronunciation doesn't play a lot of role, but still some basic words you need to know actually how to pronounce them, because if we mispronounce those basic words in our daily life, so again it's going to be a big problem for us. Like breakfast, it's not breakfast, it's breakfast. It's not hotel, it's hotel. It's not restaurant, it's restaurant. All right, so in the similar way there are many words which people mispronounce. Okay, now come to the last but not the least myth, and that is I need to learn from the native speaker. This is something that which people keep in mind, that okay, no, I will not learn from Indian, I learn from only native speaker. This is again the big problem. Okay, see guys, native speaker can speak better English, because they are living in that country, but do they have techniques to teach you well? Do they have techniques to make you fluent? Do they have techniques to make you accurate? Or do they have do they have techniques to make you good in pronunciations? Or do they have or not? All right, see guys, a trainer cannot be good by ethnicity. All right, if a trainer is good and if he's teaching you very well, he's making you efficient, he's making you fluent, and he's making your vocabulary very strong day by day, so you need to learn from that trainer. All right, it is not necessary that you need to learn from an Britishers, or you need to learn from an American. An Indian who is very hard worker, or who is teaching you with very nice methods and techniques which you finding very easy and which you finding very impressive and interesting also, so you need to learn from that trainer. Okay, so these all are 10 myths which I explained one by one. I hope that you will avoid these myths from your mind, and I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson also. Next week coming up with another lesson with something new, and firstly you avoid please from your mind, and I'm sure that you are not going to face any kind of problem in your life later on. Okay, and wish you a very happy week, happy and energetic week ahead. Thank you so much.